We're all about the Archers. I'm Philippa.
And I'm Lauren.
And we are here to talk to you all about what's happened so far this week. We will be focusing particularly on the episodes of Sunday, the 30th of March, Monday, the 31st, and tonight, Tuesday, the 1st of April. No April Fools, but there will be spoilers. Lauren, what do you think of the week? What do you think about tonight?
Cricket. No more cricket. Make it stop. It's just been non-stop. I was thinking Sunday's episode, loved it. That's my only fave, is Sunday's episode. From then on, just cricket japery has just got me so annoyed. And anyone that's involved in that, I'm like, I'm no interested in listening to anything you've got to say. And it's making me really dislike Freddie. And I've always been quite tolerant of Freddie. Like, he is annoying, but I've always been like, oh, he'll be all right. But, oh, God. How have you been finding the cricket?
I'm fine. Cricket is over very quickly. They usually do very badly, and you have a nice cricket tea. I'm there for that. But yes, I'm with you. It sounds like we're just in a bad episode of The Apprentice, and I don't want to hear it. Can't they just... And Lily's the one coming up with all these rules. She's like an evil dictator, moving all the pieces. And then Freddie, nice but dim, is the one who's going round sacking people that don't need... Surely you can have enough people doing the joyful team stuff and just cherry pick the ones for the game.
It's been fine up until now, so why is it now not fine?
Because they're Division 4 and the pressure. They're not going to stay in Division 4. Can they just face facts? This was a brief thing that will not happen. I mean, Relle says she can run, so that's something. But
she wants to... She wants to run. She wants to run from the cricket. Oh, it's just been floptastic for me. Yeah, mainly cricket has been. And I've been sort of sympathising a bit with Quentin, because I think if Quentin feels this exasperated at the food mentions, then this is... I can fully see why he's got that little blackboard out every week. Because if this carried on with the cricket, oh my God, I can just see.
So, do you agree with the phrase "sport is life"?
No, I don't agree. I'm not a sporting person anyway. I've not, like, none of my family followed sport. David is sort of semi-invested in Chelsea, but not really. So it's just not for me at all. So it's completely over. And I don't even understand the rules of cricket. So double over. Over is a cricket thing though, isn't it?
I've no idea.
Oh,
I mean...
I think an over is something in cricket.
I'm so bad at sports. At school at sports day, I was put in charge of the cakes and the ice creams.
That I would have loved that.
Oh, exactly. That was fine. Don't give me a ball to kick or hit or anything like that. Just give
Another
me food
one of my flops, which I think probably would have been one of your flops, was Rex's smelly throat sweet breath. How do you feel about that?
You see, I was right. And 70 pence for a tube of throat sweets. That's cheaper than anything our chemist sells.
He just likes the taste. He just likes the
taste.
taste.
No, he doesn't. He's a stinker, isn't he? He's a stinker, that boy. Yes, I didn't understand why he went in for throat. There was so much weird stuff this week.
Much weird stuff. So much weird stuff.
Why? And then so scared to get your change.
Yeah.
I thought there wouldn't be any change from £1 for throat sweets. They must be the cheapest out-of-date throat sweets the world's ever
It was very tense between them, and I was surprised that he said that tonight, Rex said that he did like Relle. He was interested in Relle, because I did not get that vibe at all. Like, I know Joy had sort of warned him off, but like I thought even before that, Relle was having to sort of like strong-arm him into a picnic. Like he didn't seem up for it, did he? So for him to mention that. But my God, he did the right thing and not take any advice from Freddie. God, imagine relationship advice from Freddie.
I just think as well, Relle is now embarrassed, mortified that her mother's told him that she's damaged goods, and so she doesn't want to get into conversation with him. They'll probably end up married for life with all of this foolery. But I'm not having it. There's a lot I'm not having this week. I'm really not.
The parish council kept Emma on.
Yes.
Big surprise. Clary putting on a brave face, that makes me feel a bit sad. And the thought of her working in the chicken factory or with Vince, oh my God, I think I'd be banging on the doors of the chicken factory rather than working at Casey Meats.
But we're now going through another let's score points about Clary's CV. Clary. She's been through the scoring for the interview. She did brilliantly. She didn't get the job. And now Lillian is saying Clary's too old.
Despite being older than her.
Yes.
But she's young at heart, isn't she?
And I love the way Lillian, she's co-owner in the Bull, and yet just occasionally she's there stock taking.
Yeah, just like
this is the weirdest.
flopping around in her heels, and there's not much work going on, is there? She'll turn up for the big meetings.
And Eddie is now head of CV writing. Eddie's CV services I don't want to rely on. Clary,
not writing, because Emma's going to type it up. So
yeah,
he's just sort of advising.
He's going to do it. No, this is going to go really wrong. He's just going to talk about ferrets.
Employment stuff recently. Employment and cricket, I've got no interest in that.
No, not at all. I mean, the thing is, Helen said to Clara, oh, sorry, you're going, but we'll have you back as soon as things pick up. So Helen is going to, there's 3 months' notice, there's a redundancy payment, which we've established is, I think, at least £5,000.
Yeah.
Suddenly the Ambridge Fairy could wave a magic wand and everything's okay at Bridge Farm, in Helen's mind at least. And she could ask Clary to come. Clary could do really well out of this. She could get all her redundancy settlement and then go back to work a week later.
Or not. And I'd be like, no, do you know what? I'd just rather not. All that bonkers stuff. Another thing, so Vince really annoyed me tonight. Rude, moany, about all that sandwich business, how rude he was. And then not getting names right is one of my massive bugbears, particularly when a man does it to a woman. And to call her Raquel twice in the same day when everyone knows her name is Rochelle.
Why was that? Was he so smitten with her that he was trying to play like he couldn't even remember a name?
I don't think he's smitten. I just think he's
silly?
A grumpy, daft bloke. But I have got a prediction, leaping ahead to predictions, of why she's been showing a little bit of interest in him. And I think she's vegan. And I noticed that she asked about, is he the local meat factory? She was talking about like him being the owner of the meat factory. And I wonder if there might be some uprising afoot.
Lauren, I'd forgotten she was vegan.
Yeah.
Well done. You get the gold star. You are the star of the week.
I would like to be star of the week.
Yes, that's well done for that. I mean, you've mentioned about Vince and his anger over the sandwiches.
We got so many sandwiches to talk about.
Shall we go for it?
Please.
Okay, for the food, we have biryani, tomato, oxtail, mushroom and chicken soup, Bombay potatoes. For sandwiches, we have chicken and coleslaw, chicken and mustard, chicken sandwich, squashed egg and cress, ham and mustard, brie and grape, crisps, cheese and onion, peanuts, red velvet cake.
Sausages and pies, both out of date still.
Yes, thank you.
Sandwiches which aren't chicken. They refer to sandwiches that aren't chicken. And those delicious throat sweets.
Yeah, I'll take it. Brilliant. Thank you.
What's your go-to sandwich if you're looking at a packed sandwich situation?
Well, I don't know but I took issue, you see. This is the problem I had. Vince Casey is there faced with a plethora of sandwich options and he wants brie and grape.
I like a brie and grape.
I love a brie and grape, but Vince Casey does not like a brie and grape.
No, he doesn't strike me as a man that ever doesn't have meat in his meals.
He's not having a cheese that he thinks he's got to cut the outside off. I bet he does that with brie. He thinks you can't eat the white bits. And he wouldn't put a grape with it. Yeah. And he wouldn't put it between bread. So, no, no, tell me, what's your favourite?
Well, if I'm buying a packaged sandwich, I quite like that very lowbrow cheese and onion mush. You know, the cheese and onion mush that goes in it. And you're really tasting it for a good few hours after. I quite like that. But I do like a brie and grape as well. It's tough market out there for the old vegetarian, pescatarian, fish and veg sandwiches. There's not all that much going. There's hundreds of chicken sandwiches. I mean, how many different chicken sandwiches were done tonight?
And I haven't heard Marks and Spencer's making lots of money selling chicken and mustard sandwiches.
It was ham and mustard, wasn't it?
Well, there was chicken and mustard first of all in the chicken range, and then there was ham and mustard, which I thought was quite
strange.
Like
mustard. Of all things, I do like. I like lots of food.
I love a sandwich. I could live off sandwiches.
I'll have to make my own sandwich. Yeah. Sandwich. We love it. Have you got faves though?
I love the mention. Yeah, I love the mention of Pam Gibson being the snotty woman with the tight perm.
Yeah.
I love her. I love her already. I felt like Susan has studied the Helen Archer book of management.
Oh, yeah.
When she was managing Rochelle initially.
And yes, Susan. Yes, Susan. Over and over. I thought, well, this is how Susan's taking out how she gets managed there, isn't it? Absolutely.
Yes. What about you? What were your faves?
Well, again, I only had one fave, and that was from Sunday's episode. And that was, first of all, the discussion about Eid. And it was Akram's enthusiasm for the fireworks, which then led to Khalil saying, just showing how sort of caring and emotionally in tune he is with older people who may have been through some trauma, and sort of saying that, and no one else making that link, but Khalil having made that link that maybe Linda would be affected by the fireworks. So, yeah, he's just a dream to me, that young lad. He's my star of the week again. I might as well just not bother with star of the week anymore.
It was lovely. It was almost a bit too lovely.
Oh, do you think? Oh, no, I didn't find it too lovely.
I don't know. Yes. I don't know. I could be wrong. I love the scenes with it. I love the food mentions in the family setting, and hearing them really settled in Ambridge. But I don't know. Maybe it was the cricket. It just set me off.
The cricket has put me in a bad mood.
And Mick leaving 100 messages on Joy's voicemail.
Yeah, and also him and Rochelle seem to be doing absolutely fine, just the pair of them. Like, they seem to get on quite well. I'm not insinuating anything is going to happen there. Nothing's going to happen. But, like, she's very, like, resigned. She'll be back when she's back, as she's experienced this before, I imagine, maybe on multiple occasions. And they seem to be having quite an all right time without her.
Very quickly then, what is your view on Joy versus Rochelle? Which camp are you in?
I'm in the Rochelle camp. I always thought there was more to it than... I felt like Rochelle was getting a bad rap. And sort of the way Joy would, like, warn people off of her, but not really give any reasons and things like that. And I always was suspicious of Joy. I like Joy. I think she seems a lovely person. But there's more stuff going on there, isn't there? Behind the sort of cutesiness. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't trust either of them now. And I think the truth is somewhere between them both. I think... I believe some of what Rochelle said, but I don't believe it's the whole thing. But the way Joy's just run off, but I don't know if she just can't deal with. Can she not deal with Rochelle's character? So that's why she has.
But
to
she didn't deal
leave.
with literally anything. Like, Rochelle turned up, a few words were said, and that's it. She's packing, and she's really running for it, which is exactly what Rochelle has explained has happened in the past. And that stuff about having to bury the dead dog and then sleep with the bloke afterwards and feeling obliged to, it was just tragic, wasn't it?
Again, and I'm just not sure. And just to mention Saturday's episode, I had the good fortune to interview two of the scriptwriters at the Academics Archers conference on Saturday, and that will be available as a podcast, both audio and video, this Saturday coming up. And we were talking about the Rochelle Joy storyline. And one point that Kerry Davis, one of the scriptwriters, said is that actually they're both unreliable narrators.
Oh, and you and I love an unreliable narrator, don't we?
We absolutely do. In books and stuff. And just briefly, we should mention the books. Books were mentioned this week, Lauren. Did you hear the mention when Rochelle said to Susan, "Oh, do dig out that book if you can. I like a funny romance."
Yeah, I don't like a funny romance, sadly.
I'm not a romance person.
But yeah, it's always a joy, isn't it? To hear books being mentioned. But
okay, so let's get on to Star of the Week. Who is your Star of the Week? I mean, you've mentioned it, but let's have it.
It's Khalil. He is my Star of the Week. I just find him a sweetheart, and yeah. One episode. I can't. There's nobody else there, is there? Who have you dragged up to give Star of the Week?
Clearly, I've awarded it to you tonight. But before then, if I hadn't awarded it to you, I was unbelievably going to award it to Rochelle because she's helping at the shop and she covered Susan's error with the out-of-date goods. So I don't know how and why, but there we go. Twit of the week then is...
Oh, well, I've got Vince, Freddie, Lily, Rex, anyone related to the cricket. I'm going to go cricket. Cricket is my twit of the week.
I've got Vince. He doesn't like coffee in a can. He said brie and grape was his preference.
You don't believe it?
I don't believe that. And he can't say the word Rochelle.
Raquel, Rachel. He does strike me as someone who would just get a name wrong. He'd be calling me Laura like the whole time we knew one another.
And he'd be spelling Philippa wrong as well.
Yeah.
Predictions.
Well, I've already said, haven't I? I mean, I did have 2 predictions because my other prediction was that Emma was angling for Clary to get a job with Fallon, and then that all got absolutely resolved in the episode, so they've stolen that from me. But yeah, I think there's a link there with Relle being vegan and being interested in Vince, and the way she worded it, it wasn't like, oh, who's that? She was like, oh, is he the manager of the local meat factory? I thought that's an odd way to describe someone. So I think we've got some sort of action or something going on there. What about yourself?
You're right. I mean, one of my predictions was that Relle will work at Casey Meats, but I had completely forgotten that she's vegan. So no, you're right. And as I mentioned, that the cricket team will lose every match.
Oh, hopefully.
Yes, and we won't hear any more about that. Hurrah. Joy will return next week, the week after, and will take off her mask and return as the evil character like the Joker.
Do you think she'll be back that soon?
I hope so. I don't want to hear Relle and Mick going on.
No.
I don't want to hear Relle and Mick in the hot tub. No.
No one wants to hear that.
Joy must return.
I think as well with these sort of storylines as well is that there has to be a sort of shelf life on it, doesn't there? Like, we can't just keep thinking, oh, Joy's a bit odd and who's this daughter and she's gone and now she's gone, and they're both obviously very flighty. But yeah, we've got to have some resolution. Come on, guys.
My final prediction is that the makers of chicken sandwiches will go out of business as none of their stock's been eaten and it's all been thrown away.
No one's eating those chicken and mustards, at least, are they? David loves a chicken and coleslaw sandwich, though. That's probably his favourite sandwich.
Oh, would he have mustard with it?
No, he would never touch mustard. He would never do it.
There we go. Well, if you join our Facebook group, you will be able to see details of which cast member we're interviewing next and be able to put questions on there. As I mentioned, we got the episode on Saturday with 2, not 1, but 2 of the script writers. And I'll be back next week with all 4 of us.
Party!
It'll be a party. So until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.
Goodbye, everyone.